The corridors of Buckingham Palace have always been line #D with whispers, but this time the murmurs are more Lee #Kua chilling Icho, a truth too scandalous to be ignored. For months, rumors swirled that King Charles was quietly updating his W#ill, a routine task or a monarch, but one with enormous consequences for the royal bloodline. Yet few could have predicted the bombshell revelation, no W rattling the nation. Prince Harry, once the cherished younger son of the king, has been cut out entirely. Not a single property, title, or pound will pass to him. The will is merciless. And for those close enough to see the storm brewing behind closed doors, this is not simply a royal decision. It is the result of Meghan Markle's calculated, ruthless revenge. The news broke in a flurry of hushed leaks from palace aides, who seemed almost afraid to speak. At first, the public struggled to believe it. How could Charles, who once held Harry in his arms as a grieving child after Diana's death, leave him with absolutely nothing? But the documents, if the leaks are to be believed, are crystal clear. Assets worth hundreds of millions, from sprawling estates to priceless heirlooms, have been meticulously reassigned to Prince William, the royal grandchildren in Britain, and a select group of charitable trusts. Harry's name is absent, as though he has been scrubbed from the family ledger. Insiders point to a series of explosive private meetings over the past year, in which Meghan's shadow loomed larger than Harry's presence. Once the couple moved to California and began publicly criticizing the royal family, Charles was said to be deeply wounded, but what truly sealed Harry's fate, according to royal sources, was Meghan's behind-the-scenes power play. She allegedly pushed for new financial ventures that clashed directly with our oil interests, from media deals to commercial branding, effectively forcing the palace to view Harry as a liability rather than a son. For Meghan, however, this was never just about business. Those in her inner circle whisper about a long, simmering resentment toward the royal institution, resentment born from slights, subtle exclusions, and in her view, outright hostility during her time in Britain. Cutting Harry off from the will, some say, is the culmination of a strategic plan to sever him from the monarchy entirely. #This isn't Charles punishing Harry, one for mere aid claims. This is Meghan ensuring there's no way back for him. No inheritance means no leverage, no ties, and no temptation to crawl back. The move is as symbolic as it is financial. Diana once spoke of wanting her boys to be treated equally, yet the updated will cements an unbridgeable gap between the brothers. William stands to inherit vast estates, jewels, and the historical properties that define the House of Windsor, while Harry is left with nothing but the income from his Hollywood deals Meghan controls as much as Harry does. To some, it's poetic justice for a couple who traded royal duty for celebrity freedom. To others, it's an act of familial cruelty so cold it borders on vindictive. Behind the gates of Montecito, the reaction is said to be explosive. Friends report that Harry is stunned and humiliated, pacing the halls of their California mansion, torn between anger at his father and confusion over how it all unraveled. Meghan, on the other hand, has reportedly responded with calculated calm. She sees this as freedom, and entertainment, insider claims. No more strings, no more bowing to tradition. It's them against the world, exactly how she wants it. But the British public's outrage is not as simple. While some sympathize with #RS estrangement, others accuse Meghan of manipulating him into burning every bridge. The phrase ruthless revenge has exploded across social media, with thousands of posts dissecting her every move since the couple's #departure. Critics point to her refusal to attend certain royal events, her cool demeanor toward senior royals, and her swift pivot into high-profile commercial projects as evidence that this outcome was inevitable. #raps even engineered. Even within the royal household, opinions are split. William, according to close confidants, did no lobby for Harry's exclusion, but understands why Charles made the #decision. Senior courtiers have allegedly warned him to keep the focus on stability and unity #ithing his branch of the family, avoiding any public defense of his brother. Privately, though, some staff feel the will's terms are too harsh, a punishment that goes beyond politics into the realm of personal vendetta. The final twist in this saga may yet come from the king himself. Officially, he has said nothing, leaving the public to speculate. But those who have seen the will in its near-complete form insist that this is not a draft. It's a locked document, awaiting only the seal of law. The language, they say, is blunt, with no provision for reinstating Harry under reconciliatory circumstances. It's as though Charles has written history in permanent ink, erasing one son from the royal future. For Harry, the implications are devastating. Without a royal inheritance, his financial security rests entirely on the success of his media deals, brand partnerships, and speaking engagements, all ventures vulnerable to public opinion and media cycles. And if those fail, there will be no Balmoral estate, no duchy revenues, no royal jewels to fall back on. Meghan, however, is said to view this as an opportunity to build an empire unshackled from the monarchy's rules. In private conversations, she allegedly describes it as a clean break, a chance to redefine their legacy on their own terms. Either this was Meghan's masterstroke, or Charles's final act of disapproval, the result is the same, a royal son, stripped of title's comfort, standing in the cold while the gates close behind him. The public may never know exactly how much this was revenge and how much was royal pragmatism, but one thing is certain, the will has drawn a line that no public apology or family reunion can easily cross. And so the story of Harry and Meghan enters its most dangerous chapter yet. For now, Montecito remains quiet, but the silence feels heavy, like the pause before a storm. If Harry chooses to speak out, it could ignite a war of words that would shatter whatever is left of his bond with his father. If he stays silent, the narrative will belong entirely to those who see this as Meghan's final, ruthless revenge. A coup that leaves Harry with nothing,